Now you say the Most High gave his word to everybody, right?
That bond is you living out right now. That bond is why you at the bus stop right now.
You understand? The scripture says, any man speak, let him speak of the oracles of God. They think the law is a small thing.
Separate, man. We are separate from these other nations, man.
That's right.
And I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies, this hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening, is in fact if revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jake. So Tower War, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell should've never kidnapped my family. I can't just do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear. This shit light work. It ain't about who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain frame. Shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms.
I know you can still play the promotion if you want to. Passover promotion.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yohana's putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. But before then, Thursday, it's going down at the Durham Armory, our annual all-black party. Last year was also the Hebrew Academy graduation dinner. This year, Commander General Yohana got something special for y'all. It is going down. What's happening? A full-blown Hebrew concert featuring Shar, UPK Natazal, Kwarak Ice. This is not something you want to miss. Join us at the Sheridan in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, sending curses to them enemies.
UPK, under Commandant General Yohana, will be hosting the Lord's 54th annual Passover in Raleigh, North Carolina at the
All right, Most High in Christ, clap it up. Priest and Officer 5000 is a rock. The Israelite School UPK, I'll be holding it down. Officer Dariala will be in shortly. All right, I'm gonna open up the portal up for questions. Do we got any questions online or in the room? Go ahead and type your questions in. And also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and also on Facebook. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and open up the floor for questions. We got any questions in the audience or online? Just let me know. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and go into a topic real quick. We're gonna get 1 John, the 4th chapter. Mike's right there on the desk. Go ahead and read one.
You said 1 John, sir?
1 John 4 and 1. All right, as y'all may know, in the week of Martin Luther King, you know, he get his own little personal day. We're gonna actually go into the truth about him. Of course, we're gonna pull out a lot of facts today. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and let's start here at 1 John 4 and 1.
1 John 4 and 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God.
So it says right here, beloved, believe not every spirit. All right, what is this talking about? All right, give me a good example. Go ahead, Yashman.
Don't believe your Christian pastor when he say he teach the Bible and he really don't read the Bible.
That's a good one. You got one, Rocky?
Well, I would just say,
Make sure you get the mic though, so you know what I'm saying, the audience can hear you.
I would say, don't take anything that anyone says for face value.
Right, that's a good one too. It's definitely a good one. You know what I mean? What you said, of course, is good too, Yashman, not believing a Christian pastor. You know, like when it's talking about like believe not every spirit, you can't believe every spirit because he say that he believe in God or he believe in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people come out here and they say that they believe in God, they believe in the Bible, they believe in, you know, Jesus Christ, who is Yahushua, but yet they go celebrate birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Yet they go celebrate, you know, Easter and Christmas. You know what I mean? Yet they believe in a false dream like Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Like it, sir, if I could, that's why the Bible say love is an action. Because everybody say they love God, but who really serving him?
That's right. You're absolutely on point, priest. Go ahead and keep continuing with this scripture right here.
Whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going.
Start from the beginning. Always just try to keep your hold your spot where you was at. So beloved, believe not every spirit. All right, keep going.
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God.
Do what?
But try the spirits whether they are of God.
Now that's where you come in. Now what is this talking about right here? When it's telling you to try the spirits to know whether they are of God. Go ahead, Yashman.
To test them, to try and fill them out, test their character.
Absolutely correct. You know what I'm saying? You want to try the spirits of the Lord, you know, by doing what? Seeing, do they follow the law, statutes, and commandments? Do they even know the law, statutes, and commandments? You try somebody by seeing whether or not they eat pork or not. You know what I mean? Something simple, things like that. You want to try the spirit to see if they really got the spirit of the Lord on them. All right, if they follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and they actually live this life of the Most High, and they actually live by the truth, then you would know spiritually that they are of the Most High. You know what I mean? They'd be in here serving the Most High with you. All right, keep going.
Because many false prophets are going out into the world.
Because many what?
Many false prophets are going out into the world.
Many false prophets are going out into the world, man. All right, so you got a lot of people that's going to be teaching the Bible, and they don't actually know the Bible. You get what I'm saying? You're going to have a Yabashina with that, sir. You know what I mean? You're going to have a lot of people teaching and saying that they know God, and you're going to find out that they do not know God. You know what I mean? They don't have the Spirit of the Lord on them. All right? Whenever you get ready. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 2. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Christ is come in the flesh is of God.
Now, what is this talking about right here? Read it again nice and loud. You know what I mean? And we're gonna discuss this scripture right here. Go ahead.
Con. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Christ is come in the flesh is of God.
Okay, so what is this talking about right here? Go ahead, Rocky. You got it.
So I would say when it says like
make sure you speak in the mic, please.
Go ahead. So I would say when it says that he that confessed that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh, basically Christ is a black man. You gotta believe on Christ as the scripture describes him.
Okay, you on point. It's a little deeper than that though. It's a lot more deeper than that. You're not wrong though. All right, go ahead, Yashman.
Like it, sir, if I could, is this scripture like more so metaphoric in saying that like you following what Christ says, not necessarily like that Christ is like literally in the front? Is that what it's saying?
No, that's not what that's saying. Go ahead, Wyatt.
Kind of a concept. It's not saying like when they say confess, like don't that mean like more so like believe that Christ came?
Yeah.
More so.
You're more so on to it when you express it that way. But give me more.
Meaning believing that, when I say believe, meaning that believe that Christ came and died for our sins, and now we got a chance to come back to the Father.
Now you more so on point with it. Like when it's talking about confess that Christ came in the flesh, you know what I mean? Like to take the Christianity off of that would say that Christ, he actually lived the life like you live. You know what I'm saying? He actually put in work down here in the flesh. He actually existed. You know what I'm saying? Christ not only existed, but he did what the Most High asked him to do. He came down here like a regular, you know what I'm saying, a regular person, a regular brother, you know? And you're going to have people that's going to say, well, they going to try to question whether Christ ever even, you know what I'm saying, lived on this earth. When we have a lot of proof that Christ existed in the earth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of proof, a lot of history, you know what I'm saying, proves that Christ was here and existed. You got the book called the Medieval Times of Europe or something like that. I forget what the book is called. But it's books out here that shows you that Christ actually exists. You know what I mean? And authors that actually, you know what I'm saying, talked about him while he was on the earth. And they called him a revolutionary. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 3. And every spirit that confesseth not that Christ is come in the flesh is not of God.
You ready? Pass the class over. Preaching officer, 5,000 $. Clap it up for the brother, man. Most High Christ. We good, Kodash? Most High Christ. All right. Priest and Officer 5,000 Adayala. This is Tuesday. Mandatory scripture breakdown for Michigan and Northeast Ohio. How we looking on questions? You got questions? No questions, no comments. Anybody got questions, just raise your hand, comments, whatever. Anything like that you watching online, just go ahead, type it in.
I actually have a question.
Go ahead, brother, let me hear it.
All right. Salaki, sir, I got a question. On the 12 disciples.
Let me hear it, brother.
I wanted to know who are the 12 disciples and where can I find them at in the scriptures?
Well, of course, you can find them all through the Gospels, the Good News, the New Covenant. Many of them have their own books in the Bible. Mark wrote a lot of them. You can also look it up in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. So try that. Try that one first. Also, you walk around every day with a library in your hand. So most of the questions you got, what you gotta do? Just look it up. That's what we do, man. We at school here. This ain't no social club, man. I love you brothers, man. We get together and we have a good time, but mainly what we do is we serve the Lord. We do the work of the Lord. You understand? So we look up and we prove everything that we say. All right. So your first questions was who are they? How many do you know?
Let's see. I know Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Paul.
Paul was not one of the disciples.
Oh, Salaki.
Mm-hmm. Paul got rose up by who? By Christ. Christ came to see him, rose him up. You feel me? What was it like? We gonna have to pull that scripture for you, but Paul wasn't one. Keep going. Peter, Judas, Andrew, James, John, Thomas, Bartholomew, Matthew, Philip. How many we got? Did I say James?
Yeah.
All right, let me see where you can find it at. See, we got some cups back there. Go look in the back. In one of them drawers. I know there's a gang of cups back there.
I think is in Matthew 10 too.
Matthew 10 is in Mark, the 3rd chapter. Pull up either one of them. It's going to give you a full list.
I got Matthew
It's
10 and 2.
Not 2 and 10. Or it's Mark, the 3rd chapter. Whichever one y'all got. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 2. Mm-hmm. Now the names of the 12 apostles are these. First, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother,
watch it if you could.
Philip, and Bartholomew, Thomas, and Matthew the publican, James the son of Alphaeus, and Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus. Verse 4, Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him.
Yeah.
These 12 sent forth and commanded them, saying, So I'll just stop right there, sir.
Yeah, because you just asked who were they and where you could find them.
Yeah, basically.
This is basically answering my question right here, Matthew the
that's it
10th
right there, bro.
chapter. Verse.
Let me see. That was the original. You can look up who replaced Judas. Cause I know they shot dice for that. Say it again. Was it Matthias? You can just look it up whenever you get a chance. But that answers your question. Let me see where we at. I got something I want to send you before we really get started. Give me a second. Let me get with it. The water. All right, I got it right here. You got that mic over there, Zrock? You good? Okay. Lucky, it take me forever. All right, here you go. It might make you download it because it's kind of long. But this right here is heavy, and what we going over tonight is we gonna bring out the truth on who MLK was. All right, so the FBI they followed the brother around, man. First starting off with him being like a communist, or thinking he was trying to plot against the government in some type of way. And after that, they just kept tapping his phone, and it just got ridiculous, the things that they found out. They said that the documents are sealed until 2027, January 31st, 2027. All right, so January 31st, what's the next month after that? Which is what? There you go. So in January or February 2027, Black History Month, they're going to give you the real Black history on who MLK is. All right, and that's real heavy. But tonight, we just going to go ahead and break down what we have already, and it is coming. All right. When I heard this and read this, I was like, good night. You know what I'm saying? It is crazy. So everybody out there, make sure you like and share the class and get this information out to everybody. All right. So like it says, just make sure you text all the sisters in Ohio. Text them to class, Cleveland, YouTube, all that. All the brothers do the same thing. All right. Most High in Christ. Everybody who ain't here, make sure they seeing it. Everybody like and share. Comment if you watching, so we can get that algorithm up and get this truth out here, because they do not want us to find out the truth. They don't want us to know nothing. They want you to be some dumb niggas that love to get high. That's what they want y'all to do. They want y'all to like and share a new strand of weed. That's what they want. You feel me? They want you to share the new Molly and the new fentanyl pill that's coming out, so you can kill each other. All right. The only thing they want y'all sharing is venereal diseases. That's what they want. They don't want you to share the truth. They don't want you to get that out there, so you would know exactly who MLK was. Think about it, man. How many brothers do we actually have, that got their own statue? You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, we might have to look that up. How many black people actually have a statue? How many black people really get honored in America? Now, we got a list of over 200 inventors. And you wouldn't have nothing in America without these inventors. None of them got no statue. Go ahead, what you got, right guy?
Slocky, Deontay Wilder got a statue.
Good night. The Bronx Bomber got a statue. Louis, is that what they call him? What he got a statue for? Getting knocked out by a white boy? That's what he known for. Ain't no more cups back there? Go to the store. Go get some more cups. Go ahead.
Rocky, it's heavy that the brother said that because Rocky got a statue of Joe Frazier down in Philadelphia.
And that's something that's real crazy to me. Like, how is that even possible? I thought it was cups. I just always thought that was crazy. And is he even from Philly? I don't even think this nigga is from Philly, man. His made up character is from Philly. He ain't even from Philly. All right, I see it. Let me accept it real fast.
Yeah, if I could, sir. He played that role so good. He got a statue, got put in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? He got so many accolades for being the actor that he is.
Good night. That is unheard of. That is unheard of. All right. You see it now? What? What, you just gave me the rinse out game? That's my nigga right here, man. I gotta start bringing my old glasses back to class, man. Know what y'all do. Did you get it, brother? Okay. All right. So that's just real heavy, man. You know, how America pushes in the fact that he has a statue should let you know he's a fraud. You know, they not gonna give no real niggas no damn statues here. Look at all the murderers that they gave statues to. In America, to get a statue, you have to hate black people. That's how you get a statue. You gotta literally hate black people. And if you love black people, if you love your people, you will never get honored here in America. It's not gonna happen. You understand? So where we at? Let's start off with the scriptures, because this story is real long. All right. So let me hear Deuteronomy 13:1. Yeah, real fast. Deuteronomy 13:1. Go ahead, read it, whoever got it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder. Verse 2.
There arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams. This how you know Christians don't read the Bible. Because why the hell would you ever say you had a dream if you know this verse is in the Bible? All right, so keep going.
Verse 2. And the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known.
So if there come a prophet or a dreamer of dreams and give you a sign or a wonder, think about MLK. What was the sign or the wonder he did? That nigga had the water. That nigga had hundreds of thousands of black people march on foot from down south to DC and told them it was about jobs, and nobody got a job when they got down there. And then he left and went back to his orgies, and some of them niggas stayed, and some of them walked their ass back home. That's crazy, ain't it? That's a sign. That's a wonder. A wonder is like, wow, like, how the hell is this happening? He did that, all right? He marched all over down south, and then came to Chicago and said Chicago was the worst time of his life. He could deal with, 10 or 50 white people that hate him, but he couldn't deal with thousands of white people. When he came to Chicago, they filled that park up, busting him upside his head with rocks. And that is a wild moment to me, nigga. How the hell you take that, man? They showed a picture of the boy ducking like a bullet. He was scared to death down there, you feel me? So they say if it is a prophet or a dreamer, a dream, he give you a sign or a wonder and say what?
And will spake unto these saying, let us go after other gods.
Say, let us do what?
Go after other gods.
That's what MLK and all your Christian pastors do. Don't they tell you to celebrate Christmas? It is a Christmas tree in the church. That is another God. Easter is another God. All right? So they say, let us go after other gods. Go ahead.
Which thou hast not known. And let us serve.
Have not known, because we Israelites, the only God we know is the one true God of Israel. We don't know these goddamn gods they make up every week. These are new gods to us. False gods at that. Like, it's crazy. So it say, let us go after other gods which thou have not known. Go ahead.
And let us serve them.
Let us serve them. Let's make the white man our God. And let's serve him and be like him. And teach our kids to be like them. Let's kiss some white booty and let them bust us upside the head with rocks. Let's give the white man all our businesses. What the hell is you thinking? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Thou shalt not hearken unto the thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams.
The Lord said, don't listen to no nigga like that. A nigga pop up out the blue talking about he dreamed something and tell you to do anything that's against the Bible. Don't listen to him. How stupid can you be? If he say he a man of the Lord and tell you something against God, you got to know he lying right there, right? And that's what MLK did. Him and his goddamn daddy, they both dumb teachers, Christian pastors, both of them. And we don't even know too much about his daddy. His mama got shot in the face, I heard. Somebody killed his mama up in the church. You feel me? So they whole family was full of wickedness because the God, the Most High, did them all greasy, basically. So if a prophet or a man pops up and says to go against God, do not listen. All right? And here, all you gonna ever see or hear us do is read straight from the Bible. And we gonna give you definitions from the Bible dictionary. You understand? We ain't doing nothing against the scriptures, nothing against our God, and we teach you how to come right back to the Lord. A preacher will take the Bible, read one sentence, and do 3 hours off that one goddamn sentence, making up everything. You feel me? That's what they do in church. In here, man, we read precept upon precept all day and all night. That's all you gonna ever hear us do. We actually live the Bible in this school. All right, so go ahead.
Khan. For the Lord your God will prove you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Verse 4. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God.
I say the Lord, the Most High, will prove you. All right, he gonna find out if you love him with all your heart and all your soul. How you gonna find out? Because he gonna send this nigga at you and see who you follow. He gonna send the other nations at you and see who you follow. He gonna prove you. You love that weed or that slut, he gonna put it right in your face and see who you follow. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 4. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him.
And do what?
And fear him.
I'm right. Go ahead.
And keep his commandments.
Now, a lot of people say God is all love and hugs and kisses. All right? So you're not scared of that man. You're not scared of that God. You're not scared of the one true God because you say, all I got to do is believe. He not going to hurt me. Nigga, you been lied to. He going to give you cancer. You keep on messing with them sluts, he going to give you something you can't get rid of. Now you got a big herpes bump on your face. That's what he going to do. He going to give you monkeypox. He told you don't be homosexual. And now you can't sit down because it feels like glass. Y'all seen that one? I was like, damn, you had a bad night. Damn. And instead of them stopping, what do? They try to create a vaccine so you can continue to go against God. All right? Keep going. Fear him.
And keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him.
Damn right. Go ahead.
And cleave unto him.
Damn right.
Verse 5.
And why wouldn't you want to? The creator of all things. Why wouldn't you want to serve him? Why would you want to serve a oppressor that has beat you and destroyed you and taken away your nationality? You know? Why would you want to follow that? Why would you want to be anything like that? You shouldn't. You should want to follow the God and serve the God that created you and brought you here and promised you the earth with gold streets. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death.
Shall do what?
Be put to death.
Shall live a long-lasting life.
Put to death.
The Lord said he's going to kill that liar, man, that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. And what happened to MLK?
Put to death.
That's what happened to him. He got shot in his neck while he was smoking a Newport standing on the balcony. A lot of y'all didn't even know he smoked, did y'all? He was blowing a Newport. He got shot in his neck and several other places with a high-powered rifle. When people live or babies are born on the earth, it's because God wanted them to be here. And when you die, it's because God wanted you to die. Especially at a young age. All right? MLK got shot in the neck. All right? Smoking a Newport. Keep going.
Because he has spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God.
The Lord killed him and told you why he was going to kill him. Because he told you to go against your Lord. Told you to go against your God. All right? Anybody that does that, man, just know that they got a short future. All right? When you see somebody sinning on the earth, you should be like, damn, man, count your days, all right? You feel me? Because you ain't got long to live. Especially when you tell the Lord's people to go against God. Go ahead.
Which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage.
Go ahead.
To thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in. So shall thou put the evil away from the midst of thee.
And that's what the Lord is doing when he killed him. He's getting the evil away from you, man. And that's why America is going to get destroyed too. Kill this evil place, man. This is disgusting here. This is not a good place to live. A lot of people think because they get a couple dollars or that they are free to sin, that this is the best place to be. You've been lied to. You fooled. I want gates around me. I want hedges. You understand? It's like, y'all just go over there if you could, the water. I want protection and security. We need rules. No law, no society can survive, can live without rules and laws. No city, no country, nowhere can live and survive without laws. So we need laws. So anybody telling you you don't gotta obey nothing, something wrong with them. You should run away from that person. So Rock, you had your hand raised. Go ahead, brother.
So my question would be, would Martin Luther King, MLK, when he go up under the definition of meritorious manumission?
Man, he's a little worse. You know what I'm saying? So remember, meritorious manumission is the law that tells black people to stop or tell on other black people if they joining together. So they planning some type of revolt or something like that. Or if you help the oppressor in some type of way, you get your freedom. You understand? But MLK didn't gain nothing but sex. That's it. All right. When we read this these FBI tapes and memos that they wrote down, you'll see that he got a couple dollars. He got up to like upwards of like 600,000. So he took bribes and things like that, but he was not a rich man. You understand? So he came up under his father, and that pastor position that he had, he would have had it anyway. He didn't have to sell us out. What did he really gain? He just got a whole bunch of orgies, man. He got famous. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because the reason why I asked is because I know like that definition that says, either like kind of like telling on, you know what I'm saying, your own people, or helping the oppressor. Your oppressor.
He definitely did that, brother.
So I know for a fact that Martin Luther King definitely helped the oppressor.
He definitely did.
In his empire.
Hey, if you could, give me another cup. The water. Give me some more strength too, if you could, brother. The water. He definitely helped his. Yeah, I take that. The water. He definitely helped his oppressor, man. He definitely did that. And we gonna find out today why he did it. You understand? It wasn't to hurt his people. He helped his oppressor because he loved white women. That's why he did it. Michael King's first love was a white woman. And then he married Coretta. All right? And after that, he wasn't really with her. He had kids with her, but he wasn't with Coretta. You feel me? He was with another sister. Come on, man. Let's just read the article. Because it's a long article, man, that we got to go through. And you're going to find out the truth today of who MLK really was. There are tapes that are sealed into 2027. He going to get out around the same time as Big Meech. Salaki. But we got some of this information because of Donald Trump. A lot of people say, man, why the heck, how did a reality star become president? It's because the Lord wanted it. When he got in office, he did certain things, and this is one of them. He gave us the truth on MLK, the false God that you serve. All right, they just had a parade. They marched once again for MLK, and they do it every year for this goddamn traitorous bastard. So the Lord wanted everybody to know who he really was. And some of these, the information that we got, some of the FBI files, you're going to hear about it today. So go ahead.
So you want me to start at the beginning?
Yeah, just start at the beginning. It's kind of long.
Okay.
So we wanted everybody to understand why he was getting wiretapped. So start at the beginning.
The troubling legacy on Martin Luther King. Newly released documents reveal the full extent of the FBI surveillance of the civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King, in the mid-1960s. They expose in graphic detail the FBI's intense focus on King's extensive extramarital sexual relations,
extramarital
sexual relations with dozens of women.
With one woman.
No, dozens of women.
With two women.
Dozens of women.
Hey man, he was having sex with dozens of women. Now this is a Christian pastor like IUIC that say you can only be with one woman, right? He say you can only be with one woman. And he had sex with who?
Dozens of women.
With dozens of women. So it looks like everybody believes in multiple wives, right? Except he treated them like sluts. And he actually got with prostitutes. You understand? So keep going.
And also his presence in a Washington hotel room when a friend, a Baptist minister, allegedly raped one of his parishioners.
So somebody that attended his church. All right. Martin Luther King sat there while another Christian pastor out of Baltimore raped somebody. All right. And they got it all on tape. And that's why the judge said that it can't come out until 2027. All right. Because they wanted Martin Luther King to be dead and gone before his legacy was destroyed. They wanted you to actually join America and and get filled up with all the lies of MLK before they brought this out. But we got it, all right? Yashman, tell the brother to keep it down. Keep reading.
While King looked on, laughed, and offered advice.
While he looked on, laughed, and offered advice. How you offer advice on a rape? Damn. Go ahead.
The FBI's tape recording of that criminal assault still exists today. Resting under court
exists
seal
today, like I said, and we're gonna read how. Go ahead.
Resting under court seal in a National Archives vault.
So it's resting in a National Archives vault today, and it will be released in 2027. Keep reading, it's gonna tell you.
Makan. The FBI documents also reveal how its director, J. Edgar Hoover, authorized top bureau officials to send Dr. King a tape recording of his sexual activities, along with an anonymous message encouraging him to take his own life. The complete transcripts and surviving recordings are not due to be released until 2027. But when they are made fully available, a painful historical reckoning concerning King's personal conduct seems inevitable.
Yeah, when them tapes come out, it's gonna be a bad day for the King legacy. Cause you're gonna get to hear all the disgusting things that they heard and they recorded and they wrote down about what he was doing, which we already know most of it. After this article, you pretty much ain't gonna need to read or hear nothing else. Cause damn, you understand? It's gonna get real bad in here. Kodash, if you could, there is a speech where MLK said that he might not make it there with us, but we gonna get to the mountaintop. See if you can find that, maybe on YouTube or something like that. And we gonna show you today why he said it. All right, keep going.
On January the 31st, 1977, U.S. District Judge John Lewis Smith signed an extraordinary court order requiring the Federal Bureau of Investigation to surrender all the fruits of his extensive electronic surveillance of Martin Luther King Jr. to the National Archives. Said tapes and documents Smith instructed shall be maintained by the archivist of the United States under seal for a period of 50 years or until January 31st, 2027.
All right, that's what we just said. Keep going.
However, in recent months, hundreds of never before seen FBI reports and surveillance summaries concerning King have silently slipped onto public view on the archives, lightly
annotated and difficult to explore website.
This has occurred thanks to the provisions of the President John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection Act, which mandated the public release of tens of thousands of government documents, many of which got swept up into congressional investigations of U.S. intelligence agencies predating Judge Smith's order, winnowing the new King items from amidst the archives 54,000 web links, many of which lead to multi-document PDFs that are hundreds of pages long, entail weeks of painstaking work. The FBI began wiretapping King's home in Southern Christian.
All right, so this information that we finding out, it got released because Trump told everybody, or the Congress or government, whatever, to release the tapes based on Kennedy's assassination. All right, Martin Luther King and all his little info was wrapped up in that some type of way. And that's how we getting this today. Go ahead.
Leadership Conference office in Atlanta on November 8th, 1963. The pursuant to Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy written approval for the previous 18 months, the FBI had insistently told Kennedy that King's closest and most influential advisor, New York attorney Stanley D. Livingston, was a secret member of the Communist Party USA.
All right, that's how these wiretaps got started, because they say King's closest advisor was this attorney, and he was a communist. Go ahead.
Kennedy's aides, and finally his brother, the President of the United States, warned King to cease contact with Levision. But King's promised compliance was dissembling. He and Levision communicated indirectly through another attorney, Clarence Jones, who, like Levision, was himself already being wiretapped by the FBI.
So they had bugs on everybody. These two brothers, or his attorney and another dude, was already being wiretapped. King got wrapped up in that. Go ahead.
Presented with evidence of King's duplicity, plus plus FBI claims that King had told Levision that he was a Marxist. A reluctant attorney general approved the FBI's request to place King under direct surveillance too. Unbeknownst.
Direct surveillance. So now he's being followed around at this point. Go ahead.
Unbeknownst to Kennedy, part of the FBI's motivation in seeking to tap King stemmed from something it had learned just prior to the August 28th march on Washington, when King had stayed at Jones' wiretap Bronx home to work on his soon-to-be famous "I Have a Dream" speech. As one internal FBI memo reported, King, who is married, maintains intimate relationships with at least 3 women, one in Atlanta, one in Mount Vernon, New York, and one in Washington, D.C. King's extramarital affairs, while posing as a minister of the gospel, leave him highly susceptible to
coercion. So basically what they saying is, because he constantly cheated on his woman, that left him open for bribes or people to blackmail him. You understand? If somebody else found out, they ain't want him, he ain't want everybody to know what was going on. He could be used by different groups or associations to do their will. All right, go ahead.
And possible blackmail, presumably by knowledge communists. Within weeks, the FBI wiretapped on King's Atlanta home confirmed the Bureau's expectations. On December 15th, King contacted a girlfriend by the name of Lizzie Bell, and the FBI mobilized to determine more background information regarding this girl.
They know damn well these ain't no communists. You feel me? Come on, man. Ain't no Lizzie Bell. She ain't no damn communist. They was just trying to get dirt on him at this point, but it started from those 2 attorneys that he was dealing with, and him saying he was a Marxist, and them thinking that he was in the Communist Party. But once they got in it, all they saw was King having orgies and all type of threesomes and stuff. All right, so keep reading.
6 days later, King was in contact with a girlfriend in Los Angeles, Dolores Evans, the wife of a black dentist.
The wife of who?
Of a black dentist.
What is that called?
Adultery.
That's what that's called, brother. That's called adultery. Now you talking about somebody that's supposed to be teaching the Bible, right? Meanwhile, he going out and he having sex with another man's wife. Go ahead, Yashman.
Slug it, sir, if I could. This man is going out preaching about brotherhood, and yet where's the brotherhood in that? You sleep.
Nah, what's so heavy is the whole time he's doing this, he had a march. So he going to these different places to march for black rights and civil rights. But he meeting up with his girlfriend Lizzie Bell. he meeting up with the rib of a black dentist. I thought you liked black people, man. He going to these different states getting paid for by the church and the Southern Conference leadership, whatever they call themselves. They paying for all of this stuff. But he really going on sex dates. He march a little bit, get hit in the head with a stick and a rock, and he go home to Dolores and them. You understand? It's crazy. You ain't seen nothing yet. Keep reading.
California agents were tasked to investigate Evans in connection with counter-intelligence program. Bureaus subsequently notorious COINTELPRO Dirty Tricks Playbook. That same day, King was in contact with another girlfriend, Barbara Meredith, a member of the Ebenezer Baptist Church congregation.
Good night. So this is his own church. This is his daddy church. And his daddy church. And he getting with it. What's her name?
Her name was Barbara Meredith.
Her name was Barbara. Still like I just had to say that. It's an old school name. Go ahead, Barbara.
And the file was
now listen now. They in Atlanta. That church was in Atlanta, so she know he married. She don't give a damn. No, nobody give. Everybody know who Martin Luther King is at this point. Come on, man. He famous. If it was Instagram and Facebook, he'd have really been out there. Come on, man. Go ahead.
And the file was opened on Barbara Meredith.
They opened the files on all his ribs. Like, why is you doing this? These ain't no communists. They just following these people around. Go ahead.
To determine more information regarding her background and activities in connection with counterintelligence. Wiretap summaries like these were supposed to be sealed
pursuant
to Judge Smith's 1977 order. But by the Department of Justice had forced...
But by then, go ahead.
By then, the Department of Justice had forced the FBI to share many of its King records with the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence Activities, often called the Church Committee after the name of its chairman, Idaho Democrat Frank Church. In turn, all of the FBI's documents relating to the Church Committee and the subsequent House Select Committee on Assassinations came to be covered by the 1992 Kennedy Assassination Records Act. In December 1963, the information from the Atlanta wiretaps about King's expansive private life whetted the FBI's appetite for recordings more intrusive and graphic than could be obtained via telephone lines.
They just got interested. Nah, they like, damn, what else is he doing? You feel me? Now they all in. Go ahead.
Knowing how frequently King traveled to major...
I got to tell you, man, this got to be a dumb nigga. Come on now. Everybody seen, I don't know if y'all seen X. Y'all seen X with Denzel Washington? Y'all seen that? Now, everybody known they goddamn phone was getting tapped. Everybody known that back then. He knew Hoover did not like him. And this nigga stayed on the phone. You feel me? He stayed doing some dumb shit. It's like he just didn't care. So go ahead.
King traveled to major U.S. cities. The FBI resolved to plant microphone bugs in his hotel rooms. And this endeavor.
Now understand, they got his crib tapped, they got his office tapped, and all his 3 major girlfriends tapped. So everywhere he go, they know where he going because he talking on the phone. So they know exactly what to do. Go ahead.
The prime decision maker was not long time FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, but Assistant Director William C. Sullivan, head of the Domestic Intelligence Division, with Supreme Court oral arguments in a case from Alabama, New York Times, Co. v. Sullivan, in which 4 black clergy supporters of King, plus the newspaper had been socked with a $500,000 state court judgment.
So they had to pay this money, all right, to the state. Go ahead.
Scheduled for January 6 and 7, 1964. King and a variety of ministerial friends were scheduled to be in Washington, D.C. for a 3-night stay.
Ministerial friends. So what does that mean? They was all ministers. All right? They was all preachers. They all had their own churches. Go ahead.
Immediately after the new year, FBI, Washington Field Office, Security Supervisor Ludwig Uberdorf summoned the office senior sound man, Special Agent Wilford L. Bergeron, as well as Special Agent William Welch, the office hotel contact man. Waiting in Oberdorf's office was Assistant Director Sullivan, who told the assembled agents the FBI interest in King was a national security matter on account of his communist contacts.
All right, so at this point, they know they ain't going there for no communist activity. They know why they tapping his phone. They just want to get some more dirt. But that's what they told the manager to get up in there. Go ahead.
Bergeron told church committee interviewers in another newly available document, Welch had ascertained that King and his party would be staying at the historic William Hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, just east of the White House. And Welch introduced Bergeron to a Willard manager who arranged for Bergeron to survey the rooms in question. Bergeron then placed a transmitter in each of 2 lamps, and then through the hotel contact. It was arranged to have the housekeeper change the lamps in 2 rooms which had been set aside for King and his party. In 2 other nearby rooms, Bergeron and fellow Special Agent William D. Campbell set up radio receivers and tape recorders prior to when King and his friends first checked in on January 5th. Staying in one of 2 targeted rooms was King's friend Logan Kurtz, the pastor of Baltimore's Cornerstone Baptist Church, and, like King, the holder of PhD from the Boston University School of Theology. Kurtz had brought to Washington several women parishioners of his church. A newly released summary documented from Sullivan's personal file on King relates, and Kurtz invited King and his friends to come and meet the women. The group met in his room and discussed which women among the parishioners would be suitable for natural or unnatural sex acts.
Now you're going to hear this a lot. Unnatural sex act. I can't clearly say what this unnatural sex act is, but the oppressor that was listening to this thought it was unnatural. He says it a lot, all right? So it could be woman on woman. It could be booty sex. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's just, it could be anything. But they gonna say he loved unnatural sex a lot. It could be gay sex. You understand? But you're gonna hear this a lot. Go ahead.
When one of the women protested that she did not approve of this,
he said she ain't getting down with it. she said she straight or whatever you niggas is talking about. Go ahead.
The Baptist minister immediately and forcibly raped her.
What'd he do?
He immediately and forcibly raped her.
He ain't waste no time. She said she went down with it. He said bust it wide open. It's a preacher we talk about. Go ahead.
The type summary states, parenthetically, citing a specific FBI document as its source. King looked on, laughed.
Right, let me say, it states citing a specific FBI document. Now, in parentheses, it gives you the number of this document. This is how you know they're not making this up. You could look this number up in the FBI files and pull this same number or document out and see exactly what he's saying. Go ahead.
As its source. His deputies Salakia. King looked on.
What did King do?
Looked on.
He said stop.
No, he looked on.
He said this ain't right.
He looked
He
on.
said I have a dream. That ain't what he said. King did what?
He looked on.
Go ahead.
Laughed and offered advice.
He said you ain't doing it right. Hold her down. Don't do it like that. King didn't say he had a dream that we should join hand in hands and that's my sister. What is y'all doing? He didn't say none of that. He looked on and he laughed. Go ahead. And gave advice. I like it. Go ahead. Do it right
Sullivan,
there.
or one of his deputies, then added in handwriting. While that claim appears only as an annotation, other similar marginalia more on this 1 page prior suggests that Sullivan was seeking an expanded, more detailed indictments of King's behavior. The documents recently released final pages narrating events until March 30th, 1968, suggest that the unfinished revision was abandoned following King's assassination on April 4th. Without question, Sullivan and his aides had both the microphone transmitted tape recording and a subsequent full transcript at hand while they were annotating their existing typescript in 1977.
They got the tape and they got the typescript. All right, and they wanted more, but then King got killed. Go ahead.
1977, Justice Department investigators will publicly attest to how their own review of both the tapes and the transcript showed them to be genuine and accurate.
All right, because a lot of people gonna say that they was lying. They matched up what they typed and what the tapes heard. It's accurate. This ain't no lie. Nobody ain't got to lie on MLK. He was a nasty freak nigga, man. Go ahead.
Throughout the 1960s, when no precedent for the public release of FBI documents existed or was even anticipated, Sullivan could not have imagined that his and his aides jotting would ever see the light of day. Similarly, they would not have had any apparent motive for their annotations to inaccurately embellish upon the actual recording.
Embellish upon the actual recording. Basically, just saying these niggas ain't lying. Go ahead.
And its full transcript, both of which remain under court seal and one day will confirm or dispute the FBI summary allegation. At the Willard Hotel, King and his friends' activities resumed. The
You
following
kept going. That was just one day that y'all heard about. It was just one report. These niggas was wild. You feel me? Go ahead.
The following evening, as approximately 12
Now we talking about the next day. Yeah, they had a badass weekend, right? Damn, this sound like spring break or something. It's going down. But then you got to think in your mind, this is MLK. This is a bunch of preachers. Like, what the hell is y'all doing? This ain't no college kids. Drunk and high. These niggas sober as a fool. And they going up in there with plans to get it on. Read the next day. Come on.
All right. The following evening, as approximately 12 individuals participated.
They still at the Willard Hotel in Washington, man. They ain't left the city or nothing. Go ahead. It's the next day.
12 individuals participated in a sex orgy.
In what?
In a sex orgy.
That's what happened. They had an orgy. This is MLK, the statue that you know. That's why today, when they revealed that statue yesterday, I wasn't surprised. Because I had already read this, so it looked like a rod to me. Y'all seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody seen that picture? Looked like a rod. Looked like somebody was holding a rod. You ain't seen it yet, son? No, I saw it. You saw it too? And this was why I was like, man, he did that on purpose. Because that's what MLK is known for. He's known for having wild sex orgies. Go ahead.
Which the prudish Sullivan felt included acts of degeneracy and depravity.
All right, so we acting like this oppressor was just so shocked at what he heard. Go ahead.
When one of the women shield away from engaging in an unnatural act.
King, that unnatural act again. That's nasty sex. Go ahead.
King and several of the men discussed how she was to be taught and initiated in this respect.
Because she ain't want to do it. So they like, man, we got to teach her a lesson. What the hell would you bring her for? Come on.
King told her that to perform such an act would help your soul.
It would do what?
Help your soul.
He said, man, you do it up the butt, it's going to help your soul. That's what King said. Since you stupid. King is on tape saying this. I heard a story, man, a couple of months ago where a woman pastor was having sex with the people in her church. What she say? You remember what she said?
Oh, you talking about that one where she was talking about the cornbread?
I don't know. What she said? Let me hear it. I know my rib know. What you heard? I know I could paraphrase it. That's it. No, that's not it. That's not it. It was a female pastor who was having sex with people, and she said it was gonna help them have babies or something like that. It was some crazy nonsense. And then you saw the famous dude here in Detroit pumping on them butts. Y'all remember him pumping on them butts now?
Yeah.
He laid them down and he got on their butt. Now what do that do? Why you doing that for? That's all these Christian pastors. That's what they do. That's what they do. King said, man, if you do this right here, it's gonna help your soul. You let me and my boys gang bang you. You feel me? You gonna get in the kingdom. You hear me? What he say? You gonna get to the mountaintop if you do this, sis. You better quit playing. King is up in there having a speech on one of the sisters he trying to gangbang. This is terrible. Come on, man. Let me hear the rest.
Sometime later, in language, that will reflect just how narrow Sullivan's mindset was.
That's what they talking about, the dude who was recording, because he kept saying unnatural sex. Now, of course, the scriptures say that the bedroom is undefiled, so, you know, you do your thing with your woman. That's your business. But to this white man, he just was so disgusted, and he just didn't know how to handle what he was hearing. He was like, what is going on? Now, man, they all thinking at this point that King was just the most righteous man in the world. Because who would let somebody bust him upside the head with them rocks all the time if they didn't believe in God, right? He was Mr. Non-Violent. Think about that. So think about listening to Mr. Nonviolent rape a woman and laugh. Think about Mr. Nonviolent saying to a woman who didn't want to have what he called unnatural sex, say to her to convince her to do it, that this will help your soul. So to him, this FBI dude that was listening, he was just thrown off. Like, what the hell? This is King in here doing this? But you ain't seen nothing yet. Keep going.
King announced that he preferred to perform unnatural acts on women and that he had started.
Say it again. You're reading too fast. What did King say? What did Martin Luther King say?
King announced that he preferred to.
He said he preferred to do what?
To perform unnatural acts.
He don't want to have regular sex. He don't want to. He don't want to make love. He don't want to just get on top of what they call that, missionary. He don't want to do that. He want to do what?
Unnatural acts.
That's what he want to do. He want to get busy in them hotel room. He ain't wasting his time. He left Coretta. He go back to Coretta if he want to have missionary. When he get in the hotel room, King said he wanted to do what? Come on, one more time.
Unnatural acts.
That's what he said. I didn't say it. Go ahead.
On women.
On women. Go ahead.
And that he had started the International Association.
So, like, you got to read this slow for Kodash the Bar. What did King say he started? Read it loud.
He had started the International Association for the Advancement of Pussy Eaters.
Good night. King said he did what? Zarat, what did King say, man? He said he liked to have unnatural sex. And he started what?
He started the International Association for the Advancement.
Say box, Ock.
Yeah, Salakia.
Thank you.
Salakia,
Right, we about to get shut down tonight. Go ahead.
The Advancement of Box Eaters.
Yeah, good night. Say it again, because he need to hear it. You know this up his alley. This is the holy word. He say some off the wall shit sometimes. Go ahead, sis. Good night. That what the sister said too. You gonna reach the mountaintop and you gonna get in the kingdom if you let us gangbang you here in Washington tonight. That's what they said. He said having unnatural acts will help your soul. And then after he said that to the sister, he said, I started the International Association for the Advancement of Box Eaters. Good night. Now he making fun. All right, the advancement of colored people is what he went around saying, right? When he was getting busted upside the head with all those rocks in those marches. He was saying colored people and black people because he wanted us to have civil rights and be able to sit in the white restaurants. But really, his real deal was the advancement of box eaters. Good night. This is a freaky bastard. Go ahead.
Anyone familiar with King's often bawdy sense of humor would not doubt that quotation.
So anybody that knew him, Jesse Jackson, them, they knew it was real. Go ahead.
At FBI headquarters in
Remember, they listening to all this. They got his lamps in his hotel room, bud. They heard him say it. Go ahead.
At FBI's headquarters in aid to the Bureau's number 3 official.
Silaki, Rocky, get the strong. Just go around the room if you could. Let me get some the water. Go ahead, Zarat.
Alan H. Belmont prepared a comprehensive summary of the Willard recordings. We do not contemplate this as dissemination of this information at this time, but will utilize it together with results of additional future coverage in our plan to expose King for what he is. Hoover disagreed, instructing in his distinctive scrawl that White House liaison Carter Deke DeLoach should show the summary memo to Walter Jenkins, President Lyndon Johnston's top aide.
All right, so Hoover did not want this information to come out. All right, but the officers under him, they wanted it to come out immediately. Why did Hoover disagree? Who knows? Why didn't Hoover want this information to come out? Go ahead, sis.
Because they were gonna kill him.
Not because they was gonna kill him. Hell no. Let the young man go. Yashman.
Slocky, they didn't want this information to get out right away because they didn't want to discredit this man's name. They wanted black people to join.
That's why.
Makes sense.
Hoover didn't want them to be shamed right now. He wanted black people to join America. And we needed, not us, we don't need that shit, but they needed a black man to push this agenda for us to join white people. Why? So they can get our money. We did a story, man, I think it was last year, where the government, the Census Bureau, they counted up all the money that was being spent, and they was like, damn, this black dollar, this is a lot. Because at that time, they weren't letting us in the stores. We wasn't spending with them. We was just going somewhere else to get our things. And they was like, this black money is a lot, man. We need this money. We can't survive. America can't survive without the black dollar. So they started to promote to us and let us in their stores and get our money. That's really what they wanted. By shaming him at that time, before we was fully integrated, it could have stopped that progress of America becoming who it is today, that rich society that it is today. So Hoover disagreed, but they was so shocked that they was like, man, we want this to come out now. Like, bring this shit out. Like, this nigga is in the hotel freaky as hell. All right, so keep going.
Within 24 hours of King's return to Atlanta from the Willard, his wiretap home phone gave the Bureau more raw material.
Within 24 hours. Now, we just talking about 2-3 days that they recorded. We ain't even got in a week yet, months yet. All right, so let's go to the third day. Just raw material. Damn, go ahead.
King used the modest apartment at 3006 Delmar Lane, NW, rented in the name of aide Fred Bennett as a hideaway. And there on January 8th, King met alone with the woman to whom he had become closest.
Not Coretta. He ain't closest with Coretta. Go ahead.
SCLC, Citizenship.
Southern Christian Leadership Conference. That's what he was down with. And that advancement for colored people, that came from there. But he said he want the advancement for box eaters. Go ahead.
Citizenship Education, Stafford, Dorothy Cotton.
And that's who she was. So she worked for that SCLC. Go ahead.
4 days later, King was in contact with another girlfriend in New York by the name of Effie.
Her name who?
Effie.
He ain't playing. He got Effie, he got Dorothy. Who was the first one? Lizzie and Barbara. Damn. Go ahead.
Whom the FBI quickly identified.
They got on her ass fast. Salaki. Pause. Go ahead.
In early February, agents listened in as King's wife became upset and berated King for not spending enough time at home with her.
So his wife got mad, like, damn, nigga, you ain't never at the crib. You going here, you going there, you marching, you get hit with sticks and rocks, but you ain't never at the crib. And why? It's because she knows what he's doing, but she not always saying something. But she like, he ain't never at the crib, come home, go ahead.
This happened at a time when King was at Fred Bennett's apartment, and the wiretap indicated he had Dorothy Cotton in the apartment along with him.
Now he telling her, you can't come to these marches because I'm getting hit with rocks and sticks. Stay home, it's not safe. But he really over there with Dorothy. Sister Dorothy, Sluggy. I couldn't let that one ride, Sluggy. We ain't talking about you though, Sister Dorothy. Go ahead.
The Atlanta wiretaps kept the FBI fully apprised of King's upcoming travels, and in mid-February, King SCLC aide Wyatt Walker and Baltimore's Reverend Curse all flew to Honolulu.
They went to Honolulu. See, can you pull that picture up? You seen that picture with King getting off the plane and he got the joints on? I forgot what you call what you call it? Say it for the brother so he can look it up. L-E-I. So he got the Hawaiian gold chain on, whatever you call it. He getting off the plane, and he with a white woman, and I think like a Hawaiian woman or a Chinese woman. Look at that. Look. Let me see that. Put that on the big screen. You see that? You see King, he marching with him on. They show you can read, we not lying. They done tapped this boy from his crib in Atlanta all the way to Hawaii. And what happened in Hawaii? Let me hear it.
To horrendous vows with Dolores Evans and at least one other woman. A sound squad from the Bureau's San Francisco office, with microphones already in place, awaited them at the Hilton Hawaiian Village. But King's party, tired of Honolulu's within 72 hours,
They ain't want to be there no more. Go ahead.
and flew to Los Angeles.
They used to wild orgies, and this just wasn't enough for them. Go ahead.
Los Angeles Airport, where another squad of FBI agents quickly deployed in-room microphones while standing. Salakia.
Standing by. Go up to the top.
Salakia. Standing by to carry out photographic surveillance in public areas as well.
We looking at it. Now show me the one with him getting off the plane. They ain't lying. They got the photographs. You can see the photographs. Go ahead.
On February 23rd, they snapped pictures of Wyatt Walker, Dolores Sheffy, Dorothy Boswell, and Martin Luther King Jr., and Dolores Evans. The following day, they filmed movie footage of King and Evans at the Hyatt House. Assistant Director Sullivan himself telephoned the Los Angeles office for updates, with the special agent in charge explaining that television noise plus jet planes made for less than ideal audio recordings. Los Angeles also notified Sullivan that Evans and her husband Theodore are both scheduled to appear in court on March 4th, 1964, concerning granting of a interlocutory decree of divorce. Back in Atlanta, the SCLC office wiretap memorialized King's friend Barbara Meredith recounting how at a small party, King got very drunk and made uncomplimentary remarks about some of the...
They questioned her back at the office. All right. Go ahead.
Of the SCLC personal.
So King's friend got drunk and made uncomplimentary remarks about some of the staff, all right, that he was working with. Go ahead.
And FBI headquarters' desire for comprehensive scrutiny of King led to a tardy discovery that would have received far more attention had not executives become so preoccupied with King's personal life. Supervisor Seymour Fred Phillips, who had direct charge of King's case, recommended to Sullivan that they obtain King's tax returns from the Internal Revenue Service, and when King's IRS file arrived in mid-March, it contained a previous unreported bombshell. In 1965 to 1958, Stanley Levision, who had first met King only at the very end of 1956, had arranged for King to receive a total of $10,000 in cash gifts.
All right, so basically, this part right here is just talking about how they overlook some of his gifts that were so-called gifts that were given him that could have been bribes because they were so interested in his sex life. All right, and Hoover, he got mad at them for not being on the job because they could have directly arrested him, you know, for some of these things because his tax returns didn't match up to what he was saying. 5,000 and 10,000 back then is like 80,000 today. So Hoover was mad. But let's get back to the juiciness. So you could skip that part. Let me see. Go down to the next part.
In April 1961, King, LaVision, and Chicago attorney Chauncey Eskridge.
You can skip all that. Where you at? Go down. You see this picture? It's impressive.
Okay.
Go down there.
All right. The FBI failure ever to cite those figures in its warning memos to Kennedy, coupled in March 1964 with its failure to emphasize LaVision's simultaneous large gifts to King.
All right, that's what we was just breaking down. So they just broke down the different amounts that he received in certain times, which equaled up to $650,000 today. All right, keep going.
Inexplicably rendered its secret member allegation against LaVision far less powerful than could have been the case.
All right, skip down to the next paragraph. By March 1964.
By March 1964, when the FBI received the IRS information about King, it appears obvious in retrospect that Sullivan's and Phillips' intense fixation on King's personal conduct had totally eclipsed their once central concern over whether LaVision was exerting subversive influence on King.
So they saying is he buying them off basically with the things that he's doing. He giving them so much money, like they said earlier. If somebody knows about his extramarital affairs and him dealing with prostitutes and all these gangbangs that he's having, that it could make them or him easy to control. All right, keep going.
The extent of that preoccupation was underscored in mid-May 1964 when the FBI's Las Vegas office furnished headquarters with a detailed memo a Nevada Gaming Control Board agent had prepared after learning what had transpired when King, Wyatt Walker, and a Los Angeles minister friend had visited Las Vegas 3 weeks earlier. Agent William H. had heard rumors that King had patronized a local prostitute and decided that given King's position as a God-fearing man of the cloth,
what they thought he was?
A God-fearing man of the cloth.
That's what they thought he was, and that's why they were so shocked. All right, only God-fearing men I know are y'all. You hear me? You ain't under Commander Junior Hunter in this school. You is not a God-fearing man. You do not know God because you don't even read from the Bible. Once again, your Christian pastor will take one line out of the Bible and he'll make 2 hours of just talking off of that one line, making up stuff. We read the whole Bible. We read in context. We break it down. We break down words. You understand? King was not a God-fearing man. Or you wouldn't hear this unnatural sex and all the different things that he's doing. All right? He's taking bribes. He's robbing the church. He's doing everything. And this ain't even all of it. Go ahead.
Perhaps a casual inquiry made to the prostitute in question might shed an interesting side light to King's extracurricular activities. At 3 a.m. on May 16th, being met Gail LaRue, a married 28-year-old who had left 4 children from a prior marriage in Sheridan, Wyoming.
Right. Now, it's another married woman, which is adultery, and he's supposed to be a God-fearing man. Go ahead.
Gail explained that at 2 a.m. on April 27th,
And they snitching on him. Go ahead.
On April 27th, a hotel bellman had asked her to go to the New Frontier Hotel and see the well-known black gospel musician Claire Ward, whose Claire Ward singers were performing there in the lobby. Ward handed Gail $100 and told her, I got a couple of friends in town that would like to meet you and have you take care of them.
Now guess who those friends was? You ain't got to guess hard. Go ahead.
Ward said she was paying Gail because these two men did not believe in paying a girl for her service.
They ain't believe in tricking. That's what they said. Go ahead. You ain't got nothing. You don't want to tell me how you really feel. I hear you. Gail said, man. Now Gail was the singer, and she going to get the hoes for MLK. You feel? He got everybody in the loop to bring the hoes back to the room. All right, so go ahead.
Claire took Gail to the bar at the Sands Hotel.
Man, man, Claire is a singer. She getting money. She ain't got to do this. She did it anyway. Go ahead.
And made a call on the house phone.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King then appeared in
Who
the
showed
bar.
up?
Martin Luther King.
She said she got some friends, and he want them friends to take care of you. Gave her $100. It's 40 today, but they gave her $100. And then who came up in the lobby, up in the bar?
Martin Luther King.
It's the I Have a Dream. That's what he was dreaming about. Go ahead.
Then appeared in the bar and took both women.
He did what? He took one woman.
And took both
He
women.
took both of the girls. Go ahead. Both of the hoes, because that's what they was. Go ahead.
To his room.
Where he take them?
His room.
He ain't take them to the church. He ain't try to stop him from doing it. Listen, man, today we got a petition going to stop all the prostitutes in our neighborhood from prostituting. All right? We already got the petition going. All right? And now we're working on housing to get these prostitutes from going to this motel so we can get them housing, because it's not enough to just say you can't do this. The drug dealer, the drug addict, the prostitute, the pimp, they gonna all say, well, what alternative means do you have for us? So we providing both ends of that. Right. Martin Luther King said, what? Come on back to my room. That's what he said. I got something for you. It ain't no place to stay, but I got something for you. Go ahead.
Where all three began drinking.
Mm-hmm.
King phoned one of his colleagues and told him to get your damn ass down here.
Listen, man, I can't make this up. They got this all on wiretap, and then they typed it up after the wiretap, like, man, because they was in shock. Just like we in shock today. King did what?
King phoned one of his colleagues.
He called his mans, and he said what?
And told him,
come on,
to get your damn ass down here because I have a beautiful white broad here.
He said, man, get down to the room, nigga. I got these white hoes. You ain't see, nigga, we went half on the white hoes. Where you at? Called his mans up and said, get your ass down here because I got these white hoes. Go ahead, brother.
Then both the Reverend King.
Who?
Then both the Rev King.
Reverend. Doctor. Come on.
And Claire Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Stripped naked.
Damn. Claire Ward, the singer. Come on.
And told Gail to do the same.
Come on.
With Gail seated in a chair, King went down on his knees.
What he did?
He went down on his knees.
He ain't praying. He got butt naked. He got on his knees. He is not praying, brother. Go ahead.
and started nibbling.
What he did?
And started nibbling.
He said them hoes was a snack. He got the nibbling on the bitch. Go ahead.
On her right breast.
Damn. Come on.
While Clara Ward did the same with her left breast.
What Clara did?
While Clara Ward did the same with the left one.
Damn, so they, come on, man. Come on, man. You ain't making this up. Go ahead.
Gail then stated, I guess the Reverend got tired of that and put his head down between my... Damn. Salaki.
You got to read it, brother. You sound like the FBI nigga now. It's shocking when you hear it. Like, damn. What did he do, brother? You got to read it.
Put his head down between my legs and started nibbling on that.
Why? Because he said he was starting the Association for International Box Eaters. And that's what he liked to do. So he went down and he got the box. Go ahead.
After a while, he got up and told Claire Ward to try some of it.
After a while, King said, man, come on, man. You come get some. Go ahead. Damn.
So Claire went down on Gail for a while.
Damn.
Gail stated, I think Claire Ward is queer.
She said what? The way she did that, she got to be gay. The way she acted, I know she gay. Go ahead.
Then King had intercourse with Gail while Claire watched.
Mm-hmm.
After what Gail stated seemed like hours, King rolled off and had another drink.
Good night. He popped him a blue chew. He got busy up in there. You feel me? Viagra, whatever they had back there. Go ahead.
Then climbed back on for a second go round.
Damn, now remember, he caught this man's. His man's ain't there yet. All right? He took the hose upstairs, did it by himself. Him and Claire, they got busy. Go ahead.
After King paused again, his friend showed up.
That's what his man's in the building now. I thought it was over. Now his man's here. Go ahead.
Had a drink and had intercourse with Gail while both Claire Ward...
They beat up Gail that night, didn't they? Damn. They told Gail up. Nobody get on Clara. They told Gail ass up. He said he got the white holes. Gail was the white hole, and that's what they liked. That's why he said he wanted y'all to join hand in hand with little white boys and little white girls. Because that's what he wanted to do. That was his fantasy. While he was writing his speech, that's what he was thinking about. And he pushed it on y'all as if it was some form of righteousness. It was something that we should be doing because God loves everybody. That is a lie. He really wanted to bang Gail in the hotel room. So that's why that was in his speech. Go ahead.
And the Rev King watched the action from a close position.
Mm-hmm.
With Clara sometimes stroking Gail as well.
Damn.
Gail then stated that she was getting scared as they were pretty drunk and all using filthy language.
Mm-hmm.
And at last she told Claire Ward she would have to go.
He said, I got to go. God damn. Give me a break. Go ahead.
Clara informed King, who then whispered in Gail's ear, I would like to try you sometime again.
He said, come to my church. Come on, brother. Come to my church. That's what he said.
I'll try you again.
He said, pay your tithes. No. He said he want that again. Go ahead.
If I could get you away from Clara.
If I could break you off from this, you know what I'm saying? Because she gay. Go ahead.
Ben wrote that Gail stated to this investigator that was the worst orgy I ever gone through.
That's a prostitute saying that. Now think about that. Let that soak in. A prostitute said the worst night of her life was with Martin Luther King, his homeboy, and Clara. Damn. That is something that you got to digest when you go out and you see your mama talk about Martin Luther King. Once again, man, I go into people's houses every day for the slavery, knowing cable, and I see a picture of Martin Luther King, Barack Obama, and there's another black man. It might just be them two. Is it Bill Clinton? I know it's the one that say hope, and it's MLK and Barack Obama. You feel me? That's what your hope is in. This is disgusting. You understand? And that's why the scriptures that we read earlier say, man, if you get a man that tell you to go against what the Lord say, man, leave him alone. And that man is going to get put to death. Hey, Shem Shabbatah. Glad to see you, brother. That's why MLK got put to death. People was sad and they was crying when he died. But look who you cried for. Look who your grandma cried for. Look who they gave a national holiday to, because a lot of people didn't work on Monday. Keep going. We got some more.
And it says that and added that she had declined a subsequent request from Claire Ward to get together again. Ben's
Imagine that. A prostitute saying, I don't want to do it no more. This her job. And she said, I ain't doing that no more. Y'all niggas is nasty. Damn. Come on, man. Go ahead for time's sake.
Ben's 3-page memo made its way to the FBI's Las Vegas SAC, who had it retyped and labeled secret for direct transmission to J. Edgar Hoover. On May 23rd, Ben conducted a follow-up interview with Gail and passed the additional information to bureau agents 2 days later.
Who is Gail? She the slut. Go ahead.
Gail volunteered that both King and his friend had each asked her to perform oral sex on them with the words, "Here, eat this."
What they say?
Eat this.
They said. Come on, man. I might have to stop right here. 'Cause this is too much for me. They told the prostitute, can they get some head? And they said, what?
Eat this.
This is crazy, man. This is Martin Luther King, man. Go ahead, brother. What you got?
Slog it, sir, if I could. I thought they said they don't trick.
Who said that? Oh yeah, he said that's what Clara said. They usually don't like to give women money. Now remember, the women that they usually deal with was women in their churches. So you ain't got to pay them. They was on the bus with you. They sat on the bus like Rosa Parks. And they took them to the hotel. But this in particular time, they got with some prostitutes. And they ain't like to get those prostitutes money. When they got with her, they said, come on, man, eat this. Come on, man, keep going. Damn.
Which she claimed not to have done.
That's what she said she did. Go ahead.
But Ben was dubious, telling the FBI that Gail was not too empathetic in her denial. In yet another direct report to Hoover, this one labeled top secret, Las Vegas agents reported that a paramour of King's from Los Angeles, Dolores Costello, was known to have spent some time in King's suite around midnight, April 26, prior to King's early morning assignation with Gail LaRue and Claire Ward.
All right, so before they got together, he was with another girl. So he just, all day long, he getting busy, you understand? But he supposed to be marching for civil rights. All day long, he going to these different hotels that's paid for by the SCLC, his church. He portraying to be a certain person in front of the cameras. But this is who he really is, all right? He just a man that loves to have sex. Nasty sex, what they call it, unnatural sex, gang banging, orgies, and all type of stuff. That's who it is, and the FBI found out and they released some of the documents. Go ahead.
Unsurprisingly, in late May, the wiretap on King's home telephone overheard a conversation in which King and his wife had an argument, and information was brought out concerning King's extramarital activities.
All right, so they trying to destroy him. You know she know what's going on. So she like, damn, nigga, what's going on? Go ahead.
At headquarters, Supervisor Phillips expressed displeasure that Atlanta agents had waited 48 hours before reporting what they had heard and instructed them to furnish the Bureau by communication marked by the personal attention of Assistant Director William C. Sullivan any tape available concerning the report conversation or the most detailed transcript available. Atlanta case agent Bob Nichols quickly sent the tape, explaining that the pronouns he and she used by both parties made it impossible to know the identities of the individuals to whom they are making reference.
So she knew that they was cheating, he was cheating, but they couldn't put a name on it as to who she found out he was cheating with. We know Dolores and Dorothy and Effie and them, but they said it wasn't clear. Go ahead.
Sullivan himself later wrote that Coretta King had told her husband that he was not fulfilling his marital responsibilities.
Because he having sex with everybody else. Go ahead.
And that if he spent 10 hours a month at home, this would be an exaggeration.
Good night. Now, 10 hours at the crib. He not even coming to take a shower. Now, the day he died, you will see where he said, as one, I got to rewatch this now that I read this, but it's a documentary on his life on Netflix or something like that. And the woman that picked him up, I want to see if this was one of the women he was banging. But he said that day that his kids held on to him and begged him not to leave. And now we see why. Because he was barely at the crib. We got 3-4 kids at the crib in Atlanta with Coretta. She mad, they mad. They jumped on his car hood. It was like, man, don't go. Goddamn, just stay here. You feel me? You always about the crib. She said he barely spent 10 hours at the crib. And the kids was begging him. He still left and he got shot in the neck smoking a Newport. All right? Keep going.
Sullivan added that King told her she should go out and have some sexual affairs of her own.
What did King say? Say it again, brother.
Sullivan added that King told her she should go out and have some sexual affairs of her own.
So she accused him of having extramarital affairs, which he was, and he said, you gon' do it. You understand? You going on out there and treat yourself. Because he ain't stopping. He ain't gonna spend more time at the crib. So how about you just go do what you need to do? This is a preacher that's saying this. And that's why they sealed those documents until 2027. Because they don't want y'all to know who MLK really is. But we the home of the truth, so we gonna give it to you. Raw, like they said, right? We got the raw footage. Go ahead.
3 weeks later, King called Dolores Evans.
Who he called?
Dolores
He went back with Dolores, though. Go ahead.
And they agreed to meet in Los Angeles on July 8th, soon after King returned to Atlanta. A Miss Ruby Hubert of Los Angeles called him on SCLC's wiretap lines and betrayed him for not seeing her or calling her when he was in Los Angeles.
Berated him for not seeing her and calling her when he was in LA. Berated. So she was yelling at him. Like, nigga, you came to LA, you ain't come holler at me? You feel me? That's what she was doing. Same thing Coretta just did. Because he had many ribs all over the, what did he say, holes in different area codes. Who said that? Luda? Ludacris said that. That's King. All right, go ahead.
Recently, King gave the excuse that he was in a conference and could not talk to her.
That's what he said, but we know what he was doing. Go ahead.
That very same day, King contacted his hideout and told Fred Bennett that he was bringing Dorothy Cotton.
Dorothy. Right back with Dorothy. Let me see. We got a picture of Dorothy Cotton right here. Look at Dorothy, y'all. Look. You want to see Dorothy? That nigga got her fast as hell. This Dorothy. It's a picture of Dorothy in there. They following. So like, yeah, go ahead. They followed her around. They got wiretaps on everybody. And Dorothy, was Dorothy the one who berated him?
No.
Go back to the top. Who was the one who berated him?
That was Miss Hubert.
Damn. Yeah. So Miss Hubert, the one who got on him about coming to LA, but Dorothy is the one that they said they closest with. All right, come on.
All right, so
you gotta go. Okay.
All right, so it says Dorothy Cotton. Dorothy Cotton.
Get with him and do that other thing.
Out of the hideout in a few minutes. The following month, shortly before leaving for the Democratic National Convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey, King told Dorothy Cotton that he had contacted Fred Bennett and everything was okay for the night of 8/1964.
And it's all good to slide on through, Dorothy. Listen, man, we got several pages of this, man. This ain't. I can't even get all through it tonight. You feel me? Let me hear scripture, man. Get off. Damn. I want to finish it for y'all, but we'll put it in the chat. It's too much, man. We got too much dirt on King. This is who MLK, Michael King, Martin Luther King, whatever you want to call him. This is who he really was. All right. Hey, what do you call him? King was the original Luke. And the Luke dancers, that's who King really was.
He had his own
Freaknik. That's where Freaknik came from, sis. It came from King. Remember, it was started in Atlanta. It came from King. That's what it was about. Damn, he was getting busy, man. He told the sister to eat this. All right, man, come on. Come on, man.
Teaching us about Martin Luther King in school.
And that's what's so crazy, because I remember coming up like that, too. You know, I remember when they first made it a national holiday, you get a day off. I remember doing papers on King like he was somebody. This is who he really was. Most of his speeches was, Salaki, was, what you call it? When he copied it? Plagiarized. And now you see why most of his speeches was plagiarized. Because he ain't had time to write them. He was in the rooms getting busy. Give me Jeremiah 23 and 25 for time's sake. Then we gonna close out the class with that. He said he started the International Association for the Advancements of Box Eaters. That's what he was about. He was about eating a box. Damn.
The book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 25.
Come on.
I have heard what the prophet said, that prophecy lies in my name.
That prophesy lies
in my name.
Come on.
Saying, I have dreamed.
What did he say?
I have dreamed.
And who said that?
I have dreamed.
MLK said that. And the Lord said, I have heard what?
I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, I have dreamed.
Go ahead.
I have dreamed.
Read.
Verse 26. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
They are prophets of what?
They are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
The deceit of their own heart. And that's what MLK was. He told y'all we should join together and hold hands with white people because that's what he wanted to do in his heart. He wanted to be with white women. So he told you to join them so that he could be with them and not be frowned upon. You understand? Go ahead. Is that it?
Verse 27. Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams which they tell every man to his neighbor.
They tell every man to his neighbor his dreams. And that's what we got from MLK. We got his famous I Have a Dream speech. And that was all a lie. And that lie was given to you so he could be with white women. Alright? And that's MLK's legacy. For people that's in the truth. For people that really want to know MLK, that's MLK right there. That prophet that prophesied lies. Alright? And with that, we're going to call up Zarak for the security announcement. Shalom, Israel. Clap it up for the Lord.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, start out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 and 10, means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocation, you got the Feast of Purim. Coming up, the March 5th and 6th will be the Feast of Purim. Also, we got Passover coming up, which is going to be April 1st. Right, it's going down in Raleigh, North Carolina. All brothers and sisters, you don't want to miss it. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that being said, we're going to stand at a majim. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shamkash, Yahweh, Malakuvka, Daba'ah, Atazarka, Ayah, Ashah, Ba'aratazah, Kawah, Ayah, Bashemayim, Natalanawa, Nakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Wala'a, Tabi'a Nawa, Bana Son of One, Above, Awashah Nawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapura, La'aywa Lamyu, Aman. Lord's Prayer in English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. So, it's been a turn. All right, men of Israel. We're going to go ahead and close the class out. Men of Israel, Majim. Majim Shabbat. Majim. Barak. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Yajmatah. Saw. Like give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Majim. Majim Shabbat. Majim. Barak. Yahweh Shema Latah Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Yajmatah, dismiss.